Hello and welcome to the Intel Graphics Frame Analyzer Deep Dive video series. This video will explore user interface features while examining a frame in the single frame view of Graphics Frame Analyzer to aid in detecting bottlenecks while analyzing GPU-bound applications. You can open a single frame for analysis by opening Graphics Frame Analyzer, selecting a single frame capture file, and pressing the Open button. You can also do this by opening a multi-frame stream file and selecting a frame or continuous range of frames that appear to be performing poorly, and pressing the Open button at the bottom of the left panel of the tool. When a frame capture is open in Graphics Frame Analyzer, you can view a variety of statistical information on your single frame in the top left-hand side of the tool in the main toolbar. This toolbar displays the duration of the full frame in microseconds, the duration of the selected events in microseconds, the theoretical frame rate for the whole frame in frames per second based on the duration, and the time difference between the original and modified frame after render state experiments or frame resource modifications. In this toolbar, you can also reverse all modifications using the Revert All Modifications button, display system information on your frame using the Frame Info button, modify the color and size of the user interface using the Settings button, send feedback to Intel GPA technical support using the Send Feedback button, and refer to online documentation using the Help button. Just below the main toolbar, you can view the Visualization Settings toolbar. This toolbar allows you to configure the data that's displayed in the bar chart panel directly below it and in the API log. In the bar chart, you can view the data that you configured in the Visualization Settings toolbar, scale up or down that data, and view that data by its event or bottleneck type. The panel just below this allows you to navigate along the frame and select events that are displayed in the main bar chart by clicking and dragging the left or right control boundary and selecting the event or multiple events you want to view in greater detail. In the left panel of the tool, you can view the API log, which displays a list of all functions in their respective GPU execution order, as well as parameters passed to each function. Selecting an event in the main bar chart of the tool will highlight the corresponding functions in the API log tabs. You can scroll up or down in this panel by either selecting a function from the panel and then by pressing the up or down keys on your keyboard, or by scrolling up or down using the mouse scroll wheel. You can filter graphics API functions by their name or parameters by clicking on the search bar at the top of this panel and typing in the event you want to search for. In this panel, there are three other tabs. The Pixel History tab, which shows only the events that contribute to the pixel that the user selected in the resource viewer or specified manually in the bottom panel of the tool. The Resource History tab, which shows only the events that use the resource which the user selected from the resource list. This tab can be enabled by pressing the Resource History button or double-clicking on any resource in the resource list or specified manually in the bottom panel of the tool. And the Frame Statistics tab, which displays the number of calls of each type in the frame. Selecting an event in the main bar chart or API log will also allow you to inspect it further in the center panel of the tool. At the top of this panel, you can view the resource list, which displays all resources used by the selected graphics API functions. Clicking on the Show All Resources button will display details about the resources selected and allows you to view those resources based on their groups. Clicking on a resource in this list will allow you to view details about that resource, and at the same time, all events that use that selected resource will be underlined in the main bar chart of the tool. The right panel allows you to analyze metric information for selected events, and if no events are selected, it displays the total value for the entire frame. It's important to mention that hardware metrics are unavailable for non-Intel GPUs, but API-based metrics are available. If using Intel GPUs, this panel has 4 different tabs, including the 3D Pipeline tab, which groups metrics by bottleneck types that are used for geometry rendering, the Compute Pipeline tab, which groups metrics by bottleneck types that are used in computing processes, the Current Selection tab, which displays metrics for the current selection, and the Full Frame tab, which displays all metrics for the full frame. It's important to note that the 3D Pipeline and Compute Pipeline tabs are only available when your capture has draw or dispatch calls, and those calls have been selected. Clicking on each metric will display a detailed description of that metric at the bottom of the panel, and this description box can be resized by clicking on the control boundary above the description. Clicking on each block in the 3D pipeline and compete pipeline tabs will display information about bottlenecks and helpful resources on how to resolve those bottlenecks. If you're interested in learning more about how to identify and analyze problem areas in your applications to resolve GPU performance regressions, continue watching our Graphics Frame Analyzer deep dive video series. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for new exciting GPI updates and get started optimizing your games today.